Right now, you are living in a time of unprecedented safety. You go to the zoo, you look at a lion through thick glass, and you feel a little thrill of fear. That's as close as most of you will ever get to a predator that could kill you. You scroll past a nature documentary, you see a crocodile, you feel something primal stir in your chest for about 30 seconds, and then you go back to your day. Your dangerous apex predators are locked behind barriers, trapped in screens, or extinct. But imagine a world where that wasn't the case. Imagine you're living 50,000 years ago, and one day your hunting party comes back with stories. They saw something, something they'd never seen before, something that didn't look like anything they knew how to kill. This is what happened when ancient humans encountered a predator they had absolutely no framework for understanding. The first thing you need to understand is that ancient humans weren't stupid. They were walking encyclopedias of predator knowledge. Every young person who survived to adulthood had been trained their entire lives to recognize danger. They knew which animals hunted at night. They knew which ones hunted in packs. They knew which ones were territorial. They could look at a track in the mud and tell you not just what animal made it, but how long ago and whether it was hunting or passing through. This knowledge wasn't written in books, it was burned into them through stories, through observation, through narrow escapes, and sometimes through losing someone you loved. So when a predator showed up that didn't match any of that knowledge, that created something worse than fear. It created confusion. Here's what we think happened in several places around the world. New predators arrived as populations moved or climate changed. In Australia, around 50,000 years ago, the thylacine existed alongside the Tasmanian devil. Humans were already there, hunting and thriving. Then something shifted. Whether it was climate or food sources changing or other predators moving into new territory, megafauna started disappearing. And in that chaos, predators that hadn't encountered humans in high numbers suddenly had to compete with them. The humans had no reference point for these encounters. They didn't know the predator's hunting patterns. They didn't know if it was territorial or if it would follow you back to camp. They didn't know its speed, its strength compared to familiar animals, or what would actually stop it. And this is where human ingenuity became evolution on fast forward. Because what ancient humans did across every continent was something remarkable. They experimented. The first response was always gathering information. Hunters would deliberately seek out these predators from a distance, watching how they moved, what time of day they hunted, whether they hunted alone or in groups. They took risks. Some of them didn't come back, but the ones who did brought knowledge. They brought stories, and those stories started spreading through the community like wildfire. Could you kill it with your current weapons? No. Could you outrun it? Only sometimes. Could you hide from it? That depended on the predator. Some could track by scent, some needed to see you. Some hunted at night and could see in the dark better than you could. So here's what's fascinating. Ancient humans didn't just adapt their behavior to these new predators. They started adapting their entire culture and settlement patterns around them. In some regions, we see the archaeological evidence of humans moving their camps to more defensible positions, places that were slightly less ideal for hunting but could be better protected. They started staying closer together in larger groups. A solitary human is prey. A group of 15 humans with tools and fire is a threat. Predators had to do a cost-benefit analysis, and increasingly, they decided humans weren't worth the risk. This wasn't something that happened overnight. This took generations, but slowly, gradually, the balance shifted. The second thing humans did was change their hunting strategies. If there was a new predator in the territory, your old hunting routes suddenly became ambush points. So humans started hunting in larger groups. They started developing techniques that would let them track prey while also staying aware of predators. They hunted closer to camp, even if the animals there were smaller or less plentiful. They accepted a worse food situation in exchange for a safer one. This is actually a more significant change than it sounds, because it meant reorganizing your entire culture. The division of labor changed. The time you spent hunting changed. Where you spent your time changed. Who went hunting changed. Suddenly, maybe the elderly or the injured couldn't risk going out at all. But here's where it gets really clever. Evidence suggests that humans didn't just avoid these new predators, they hunted them. We find stone tools with wear patterns consistent with processing large cat hides. We find evidence of humans deliberately tracking and killing predators, not for food, but for protection. They were taking out competition. They were eliminating the predators that wouldn't tolerate coexistence. And sometimes they were simply making a message. If you kill a predator and display that to your community, you're saying, this can be done. We can beat this. I survived this. We are still here. This is the thing that separates humans from almost every other prey animal. When a predator arrives, most animals either adapt their behavior, migrate, or they go extinct. Humans do something else. They get angry, they get curious, they experiment, they fail. Some of them die, but collectively they problem solve themselves into dominance. In Africa, as new predator species emerged or shifted their ranges, we see humans expanding into new territories rather than retreating. In Europe, as Ice Age predators hunted alongside humans, humans didn't disappear, the predators did. We don't have complete skeletons of saber-toothed cats and cave lions showing predation patterns on humans the way we do for other prey animals. It's not because humans avoided them, it's because humans defeated them. And maybe that's the real answer to your question. When ancient humans met a deadly new predator, they did what humans have always done. They observed it, they communicated about it, they adapted to it, they worked together against it, and eventually they dominated it. This wasn't instantaneous and it wasn't without cost, but it was inevitable because for the first time in Earth's history, there was an animal that didn't just survive predators, an animal that didn't just adapt to predators, an animal that actively eliminated predators as a strategic choice. That animal was us, and every predator that ever tried to make us its prey learned the same lesson, eventually. If you liked this, there are hundreds more explorations of what ancient humans actually did waiting for you in this channel. Check them out.